Welcome to 6 Minutes. Jason Fulmore, Bat and Scrappies, Lucas De Silva, who is now breaking open his second. Well, the first one was a monster, so if he's a little hyped up for 5A, you know why.
I'm always hyped up
the system. So Lucas and I are going to break down the 5A brackets very quickly. Will not take too terribly long, but 5A has got some very fun matchups. So we'll get to those in just a second. So let's jump. Oh, and before I do that, we're going to do a screenshot to, this is what 5A, this is what we're going to do throughout. Just everybody knows this is sectional champ up here, sectional champ down here. Lee Camp won his section. Mason Moody took second. Nick Nguyen took third. Drovics, I don't know how to say his name. Sorry, Dylan. Total apology.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Dylan Drovics. We'll go with that.
Won his section. Fritz was second down here, with Baker taking third. And that's how they're kind of separated. So that is what we will see throughout. Section champs are separated from one another, with the runners up in third, possibly meeting in the quarters. So let's jump to 106. I'm a big fan of Lee Camp.
I am too.
I think that, I did not expect him to pretty much handle Mason Moody pretty handily. I mean, he took care of it in the section finals. As a result, I think he is definitely the favorite heading into to this weekend. What do you think?
No, I would tend to agree with that. I mean, you cannot look ahead. There is a Hayden Fritz that will probably, what we assume, as we said with 3 and 4A, we are talking about the possible matchups. We are not directly, this is no disrespect to the wrestlers that are in the way of some of these matchups happening. This is just outside looking in, two fans of the sport, analysts, if you will, just kind of looking, going down. Listen, I got to make our title sound better. That's how we get paid more. We got to make it sound better. But, yeah, like genuinely.
Getting paid would be good, not just paid more.
You do get paid. Go to southeastwrestling.com, subscribe to Southeast Wrestling Plus. Yeah, it's just one of those things where, I mean, Hayden Fritz and him, I think, would be a very fun matchup. Then you get a Moody and Jarovitz matchup that I think would be really fun on the top side in the sems.
So Camp beat Fritz in their duel in the state dual finals. But it wasn't a knockout. I mean, it wasn't like a shutout. Fritz was in the match. It was close. So, that's potentially a really good semifinal. Anyway,
yes, it is. And of all people, I mean, we all know that if anybody's going to game plan, it's going to be Jeff Reagan. He's going to game plan. But I do like, it's 106 is always a fun weight to me because I love seeing the new guys. I love seeing how is a Mason Moody, a freshman, how's he going to do in Macon? It's a fun environment to think about.
I agree. And, you can't, I mean, again, this is a reminder, but you can't look ahead, even though we're projecting out to possible matchups. When you're wrestling and when I coach, I would so remind everyone, remind my wrestlers, focus on the now. Focus on this match.
My dad always says the most important match is the first one.
No doubt. Definitely. Or the one in front of you. So, yeah. All right. So let's jump to 5A 113. Defending 106-pound champ, Colby McBride from Woodward Academy. You got AJ Pyatt. Is that how you say it?
I do believe it is Pyatt. I do believe.
From Cass sitting on the other side. Again, I think they wrestled one another in the state dual finals. But you got Tristan Mallett, who was a runner-up last year, right? To McBride. Is that correct?
That is correct. You are correct there, yeah.
Farmer was a placer as well. So how do you think this one plays out?
I think this is kind of a chalkboard weight, to be honest with you. I think that those four, for the most part, unless, I mean, look, I love me some of Garrett Cathy out of what school is he out of? That NO. What school is that? You're gonna say it. I'm gonna lose my mind.
You know what? I don't know that I know off the top of my head.
Click on that 5005 number.
Okay.
And a Northgate. Gotcha. Thank you. Couldn't remember for the life of me, but I do like him. But I do think that it will be McBride, Mallet, Farmer, Payette in the sems, and we should have fun matchups there. Like those should be 2 fun sems and then a fun final to come after.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I will say that the bracket as a whole is really pretty good because you got Jose Pacheco sitting there, you got Gene Smith from St. Pius, Ryan Starr from Ware County, Eden Neal, I think that's how you say his name, from Cartersville. So you got a lot of names in there that I think the battle for the spots on the podium are going to be a lot of fun to watch. And this all of what we're talking about in 5A is within the context of how is Cass going to do? How is Woodward Academy going to do? How is Woodland going to do? But also, how is Ola going to do? Because Ola, I think, brings the most of all 4 teams to the state tournament. I
wouldn't be surprised. And not only do they have the most, they have some hammers. Yeah, and I'm going to say this about Ola. I called them getting 3rd, and people called me crazy. I said they would get 3rd at duels, and people called me crazy. Hear me now and hear me good. Ola will be in the top 2. I'm not going to say they're going to be 1 or 2 yet, but they will be in the top 2. Mark my words, book it. Ola's in the top 2. They bring the most, and they bring guys that can win titles. And you know what, by the way, 5A 113, popcorn approved. Go get you a bucket for that bracket. Popcorn approved. I'll give it to it.
Well, and the other thing I think
that's the new T-shirt, by the way. That's a new T-shirt coming, but okay. Just want to make that clear. Make that clear right now.
I think that the other thing that we alluded to in one of the other classes that we haven't talked about yet also is that Ola, I think, is a team that even the kids who don't win are going to get wins. Like don't win overall.
No,
they're going to get wins throughout the backside, which backside points are so very important in a team race.
I don't know if there's an Ola kid that's going to go 0-2. Like they're going to get a win. They're going to steal a win somewhere, and they're going to get team points. Like if you're Cass and you're Woodward and you're Woodland, like you need to focus on Ola. Like they are gonna, like they're hunting for. They want a top spot. They want it bad, and they might just have enough in the chamber to do it.
All right, so let's jump to 120. One of my favorite wrestlers to watch, Cole Hunt from Cass, North Carolina signee.
Tar Heel.
Yeah, future Tar Heel. Got the same colors as Fat and Scrappy. Cole Hunt is
close.
It's just fun to watch. He brings his lunch pail every single day, comes to wrestle. It doesn't matter if he's wrestling the best kid in the world or a kid who's just a regular varsity wrestler. Cole has the same like mindset. He has the same mindset in every single match.
Yeah, he makes what he does look like a 9-to-5, and he's getting paid just above minimum wage, and he's doing it with pride. And it's
that's a way to put it. Okay, all right.
He's getting paid $11.50. He's getting paid $11.50 an hour. He's looking to get that promotion. It's one of those things.
Say 120. Besides Cole, who I think you and I are definitely on the same page as the favorite. Cooper Hoffman, Decker, Coombs. Kaysen Dempsey, Heath Augustine, Mason Worsham.
We just spoke about Ola. Mason Worshman. Like, if you look at the drop too, so let's say he wins that match, which I think he could against Caden Pollard. I don't see that's out of his range. I don't think it is. He goes 5-12. He gets loser of 3 of. He'd get the loser of Dempsey and Hoffman, or Cates and Hoffman.
Right.
Like you get the loser of that top quarter match. He wins that match right there. Like these are the matches where if you're Heath Augustine and you want Woodward to have a chance, you need to win that match. Like that first round, you need to win. And with all due respect to Zachary Coombs, I think he is I don't want to say the weakest of the front 4 getting buys, but he is the most unknown of, like, we haven't seen him in the same situations. So if you're Heath Augustine, you need to win that match because it's still in your range. That is not entirely out of your range to do. Like, the team race, I think, is most interesting in 5A.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely up in the air. You know, it's going to be very interesting to see who's able to get it done. One of the last things I will say about 120 before we move on is the top side of the bracket is fun. You know, Hoffman is tough, Decker is tough, Case and Dempsey is tough. You know, you're going to have a number of different kids up top, I think, who are going to be really fun to watch.
For sure.
All right, so 126. What do you got to say about 126 there, Lucas De Silva?
Let's see. Oh, well, I could bring you back to my commentary days and say he's got two backs screaming my lungs out for Jake Craps. You want to talk about a kid. Jake Craps is very quickly looking like he's going to fill the role of a Matty Singleton, of a Caleb Henson, and be a Georgia standout for that next group. He's only he's young. I didn't know that. But he's looking like he's filling that blue chip role. Above him, Cale Griswold can wrestle. Carson Bailey obviously can wrestle. Sebastian Mendez can wrestle out of Woodland. By the way, I think I've been saying Wood. I think I've been screwing up that is Woodland. Woodland is WOCA, correct?
WOCA should be, yeah, Woodland.
So
Carson Bailey is Woodland Cartersville.
Yes, I think earlier I said Woodward for someone when they had WOCA because I'm still thinking of I messed it up is what I'm saying. Nevertheless, this is and you look at Ola again, Connor Kimbrough sits there.
Yeah.
And he sits in a weird spot. Like I would have expected him to be not there.
Well, I think I could be wrong, and somebody can correct me, but I think Kimbrough actually lost to Craps on the same side of the bracket.
Oh, got it.
Bailey took second, so we get a possibly Kimbrough Bailey quarterfinal, and they didn't meet last weekend.
Okay, that makes more sense because I would not have it like. No disrespect to Carson Bailey, but I would have expected that to be flipped.
Yeah, and I think that's something everybody needs to keep in mind. It's just because one finished 2 and one finished 3 doesn't mean the 2 beat the 3 last weekend.
Yeah, no, it could have been the way the bracket
it could have been the way the bracket played out and so on and so forth. Because what happens with the sectional brackets is you got the 4 areas and it's just a formula with the way they go in.
Yeah.
So I think Connor Kimbrough is very dangerous on the top side of the bracket.
He's super dangerous on top too. Just in general, super dangerous on top. Weird, one of those weird wiry kids that has like 9-foot arms.
There you go. Opposite of me.
Yeah, he's only like 3 foot tall too.
So I don't think that's true.
He might be 3 foot tall.
And then Sebastian Melendez, who from Greenbrier, who won the sectional up top. So that the top side is going to be a lot of fun. I don't know that anybody has had a better, 8 months than Jake Craps, though. So it would be really surprised to see anybody on the top step but him. So 132. Do you know anything about Zeb Dawkins from Walnut Grove?
I've heard good things. I've seen him once or twice, but I'm not as familiar.
Okay, because I don't really know. He's a freshman. He's 25-3, but he sits on the top side with, I do know Jack Garrett. I do know Davin Lundquist. I do know Colton Bishop. I know those names. So, and evidently Reese Jones and Colton Bishop had a wild sectional final.
That's what I heard too. I heard it was some madness.
And if we get a chance to see the two of them again, that will be in the finals probably, and we can get some wild match there too.
What is that WOAC? Is that Woodward Academy?
No, you just asked. It's Woodland Cartersville.
No, WOAC.
Oh, WOAC is Woodward Academy.
Can we just write out the full school names? For hell, can we please? We're using 0.8 font. If we're gonna use point 0.8, write the damn school out for me. Good Lord. Try to make me do damn near quantum mechanics to figure out whether someone's from Woodward, Woodland, Ware County. Anyways.
So Lucas De Silva, everybody, so you don't know, he's 19 or 20 years old, and he's already adopted the old man get off my lawn speech. With his, why can't we make this? Why can't we spell this out? Why can't we do this? It's 8-point font. You've got great eyes. I can't see it.
No, I don't. Are you kidding me? Why do you think I wear these nonsensicalnesses?
Yeah, but you're not 50 and wear them.
If I take this off, I think you might be Ernest the Cat Miller. I don't know if you're you without these goddamn. But anyway, that weight class is popcorn approved, though, by the way. That is a popcorn approved weight class for sure. Yeah, I want Reese Jones. Reese Jones. Why did I just... Anyways, I want Reese Jones and Bishop to get back to the finals, preferably, so that I could sit there, because I do think I'm going to be in Macon. I think I will be there. So I kind of absolutely want to be there and see that match.
Yeah, I mean, I heard the last match was fantastic. Both kids have a tendency to bring it. It's always a fun, but we're projecting the possible matchup.
Yes, exactly. As we said earlier,
132 is stacked. So,
no, it is. No, we are talking, as we said earlier, where we are just kind of projecting possible matchups and things that we like about the bracket and giving you more. These are hypotheticals.
All right, 138. I don't know that there's a bigger Sam Harris fan in Georgia than me. I think Sam is fantastic.
Team Fat and Scrappy member, by the way.
I'm sorry?
What, Team Fat and Scrappy member, by the way.
Oh,
Sam.
Okay.
My boy.
And Sam has got to be probably one of the best that has not won a state title.
I want him to get one so bad.
But Bryce Crescio is sitting in the weight. He did take care of business last weekend, and he certainly, in my opinion, looks like the favorite heading into this weekend.
Bryce Crescio is absolutely the favorite. I do love me some. I love me some Sam Harris. That's my dude from way back. I want him to get one like really badly for him. But again, and that's big for Ola. If he's able to knock off Crescio, that is a head-to-head that if it were to happen as we think, and we get a Harris-Crescio final, by the way, shout out to Martinez at Greenbrier. I've heard good things about him as well.
Absolutely.
I've heard good things. If Harris and Crescio get to the finals, and Harris can knock Crescio off, that is huge for team score. That has a lot of team score implications.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Another name that I think everybody should pay attention to is it Giles Turner from Cartersville?
Yes.
Good wrestler. Could get Harris in the quarters, and then also throwing it down to Randy Buchanan of Woodland, who could be really important. Like we go back to that team race again. But he's got a tough path. He gets Crescio if he wins against Rhodes.
Yeah, and Rhodes could wrestle too. Like that bottom quarter is not easy for anyone.
Right. All right, so let's jump over to 145. Oh, this one's fun.
Ooh, lots of fun. First off, gonna get it out of the way right now. My little brother's in this bracket, Brian Papkin. Like, that dude's like my little brother. I'm going to get it out of the way now. I love that kid to death. So, but before anybody says a damn word, I'm getting it out there now that that's my little brother, right? We're getting that out there.
Okay, are you picking him?
What?
Is he the favorite?
No, he's not. He's not the favorite. I mean, he lost to Tyler McKnight. He can't be the favorite. He lost to McKnight, and especially when Latrell Schaefer is sitting there. Latrell also can bang. Like, this is a bracket where, and even Al Woodward, DeHaven, I've seen him a couple times. I've seen him get to work. This is a good bracket.
This is a great bracket.
This bracket is absolutely popcorn approved. Give it the approval. Give it the stamp approval. Popcorn approved, baby. Yeah, it absolutely gets the stamp. It's a fun bracket. You're going to see some wild matches in those quarterfinals, and the semifinals are going to be just as wild. And when we get to the finals, that's a bracket with a lot of team score implications.
So who is the favorite? If you were to give a favorite, who is the favorite?
I'm going to give it to McKnight. He because I don't know who he's lost to if he has a loss in that bracket.
Got it. Okay.
I'm trying to remember. I don't think he has a loss in that bracket. I think he beat D. Haven and he beat Papkin. If I remember correctly, the Papkin match was close. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Like, I think that they were both close matches, but I'll give him the favorite currently.
So I think last year, and again, last year, take it with a grain of salt. It was a year ago.
Yeah.
McKnight was second at the weight class at 138 or 132, 138, and Schaefer was third. I think you can make an argument for either of the two being the favorites. Sure. I think that if McKnight's going to beat him, he's going to really need to kind of shut down Schaefer's really dynamic ability on his feet.
Offense. High octane is the only way you can describe Latrell Schaefer's offense. He will throw 3,000 shots at you in a minute and a half. Oh, and by the way, he's not going to run out of gas. Oh, and by the way, if you go to hooks with him, he can throw. Oh, and by the way, if you take a low shot and you get down with him, he can scramble with the best of them. He's so dynamic is a great word. He's just super dynamic. But McKnight, even maybe not as three-dimensional in his offense. Like, he has I think Latrell may have a bigger bag of tricks, but McKnight is a lot more physical, a bruiser, good in the ties, really solid stuff. And if he has to, he can go to a bag of tricks that he has.
I think the potential for that matchup is fantastic. But again, there are really good. I mean, you brought up Papkin, you brought up DeHaven, you've brought up some other.
I would love to see a Papkin Latrell Schaefer semifinal. I would love to see that match. Their styles, I think, are super complementary to make a really fun match.
All right, so let's jump to 152, where we have the number 152 in the country, Caleb Henson. To give some people some background, Henson not only is unbeaten, knockout champ, he is not going for his fourth state title. He was beaten as a freshman. Was it a freshman?
Yep, by Jackson Desario.
No, I thought he lost to Francis Morrissey.
Nope.
Oh, okay. All right.
Nope, that was the year of Morrissey. Derek Hott won.
Okay. Well, Henson has not only been super in terms of around the country and everything else. He went up to the Hokie Open, the Southeast Open, and opened for college wrestlers and won a 149-pound weight class. So this is without a doubt Henson's weight class. Let's talk a little bit about some of the other people in the weight and who might wrestle well.
So this is where if you're Ola, if you're Woodward, if you're Cass, you're cursing the gods. Because this is a weight where you would love to have had someone on the top side to try to go battle and get second.
Mm-hmm.
And it just didn't work out that way. You got Doolittle and Hetch there on his side of the bracket. Hetch is in a actually similar position because of the way a 12-man bracket works, where either way you're going to drop to the concede quarters of one. So it's just one of those things where I'm going to throw a name out there. I like me some James Rackley. I've seen him wrestle a handful of times, and he's pretty damn solid. I got to give him that. The kid can go. And I'm kind of you know what? Rackley gets through to the finals.
That's going to be your pick? That's it. That's your number 3 that's going to go to the finals.
I have a feeling. I've seen him wrestle, and I like the way he wrestles, always pushing forward, super aggressive. I will step out on my ledge, just as I did when I picked Ola to get third. Everybody made fun of me, just as I did when I picked 1A, and I picked it exactly right. I'm going to go step out on my ledge. Rackley, go get you second. Go get you second place. Because I love you. You're not being Caleb Henson, but go get second place. Go get second.
So I'm gonna stick with Tanner Vorse, who is a returning state placer to emerge from the top side. But
no, he is, and Tanner Vorse is a stud. But I just I like him, and this is one where I'm gonna get made fun of, but I don't care because I like him. The kid's good.
All right. So we now move to simply the best potential finals match in Macon in any class. And that is Michael Killick, Cole Cochran. They wrestled in the duels. Cochran came out 3-2. I don't know if it went to overtime, if it went to ultimate tiebreak.
I don't believe it did. I think it was regulation 3-2.
But that is not, again, Jared Walker, Logan Sherwood, Jacob Helms, Pete Rowe. These are all Isaac Green.
I was going to say, it is taking you a while to get to Reen. It is taking you a while to get there. Like, hold on now.
I was moving from the bottom up, but
I was about to say, that kid could go down here and get third. I was like, well, wait. I was like, wait a minute.
Yes, I agree with you. But let's talk just briefly about this potential final.
I almost think, in a way, this matchup epitomizes the schools.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Cochran has been a glue for Woodland for years. Like, yes, you had all the talent, don't get it twisted, but he was a piece of glue that kind of kept everything together, especially emotionally for that team. You now look at Killick had done the same thing for Woodward for years. And even stylistically, they both kind of match the style of their schools in a way. Killick, hungry, a monster on top, can go and get you from all angles. Cochran, a little bit more power and strength, but still has the flair and can do some flash, but isn't known for super ducks. More known for blasting right through you and putting you on your behind.
And grinding you into nothing, because that's what he did to Lucas Willis, five-time state champ in Florida, is that in the finals of the knockout 2 years ago, he was behind. And then next thing you know, you're right, he hit a double leg, and then he started coming back, and boy, he tested Willis's tank. And both of them are nationally ranked.
Both of them are studs. And to get that in a Georgia bracket is rare, that you get two nationally ranked kids in the same bracket.
Yeah. Because what happens is we have a tendency to spread all out amongst the classes, and we don't get these types of matchups that we want.
No, we don't. Thank you, GHSA, for 7 classes. Thank you.
All right. So let's move to.
Thank you. I love my GHSA overlords. Thank you.
5A 170. But
hey, Don. Hi, Don. How you been?
Before we move to 5A 170, do you agree with me that Killick Cochran is the best potential finals?
I'm going to say yes, because I haven't looked at all the brackets yet.
Okay.
So I'm going to agree with you.
But you're going to reserve the right to
if there's something that comes up where I'm like, hey, wait a second now. Yeah, but you move one weight class up. Let's not be like Flipowitz and McKnight are 2 hammers. Now, Flipowitz, let's not get it twisted. Nationally ranked, the favorite for sure. But McKnight can wrestle his you-know-what off. So, I just want to be clear here that I don't think that. See, that match is going to be closer than people suspect it to be.
Well, they've wrestled several times this year. Flipowitz, I think, it looks to me like he gets a little frustrated with, kind of McKnight kind of not rolling with him, kind of all over the place.
McKnight is not going to play that scrambling game with him. McKnight is smart. He's like, I'm not playing this game with you. Like I'm going to make you wrestle me traditional. And Flipowitz, who has always been known as kind of steady Eddie, can keep his composure. It's the one time I've ever really seen him start to crack not like break, but I've seen him start to get really frustrated.
I saw him get frustrated with McKnight, and I don't usually see Flipowitz get frustrated very much at all.
No, the blessed Trinity man is normally very blessed, but that match with McKnight, he was getting really mad.
Yeah, and mad is a level of frustration, because I think that at least in McCallie and things like that, he's trying to get. He wasn't in danger of losing. He's just trying to get bonus points, and wasn't able to execute to get to the level that he wanted to for the team, because this is a Woodward Academy cast matchup that is, potentially, really important to the team ranks.
It really could be. And it's one of those things where if you're Ola, you become fans of McKnight in this case, because you're just like, keep it close. Keep it close. You don't need to win. Just keep it close. Don't let Flipwood start getting bonus points in the finals now. Like,
right.
But if you're Woodward, obviously, and you're really hunting for a team title, you need as close to 28 as possible out of Flipwoods. Mm-hmm. Like, you need as close to that as possible. And I don't know if you're going to get it. Like, you're probably going to get 20, 22. All
right. So now talking about that, I think you're probably going to get those 28 points.
28. Move on. I don't even need to think about this. 28.
Right. Singleton, like we said before, is one of the established hammers. You didn't play the Wolfpack, like you did for Chase Horn. Do you have it?
Of course I still got pulled up. I love this song. Are you kidding me? This is damn near my Apple Music. I get a Sonic ad. Son of
a. Well, Singleton is superb. He won Doc B. He won Knockout. I mean, and he didn't just win. Like he beat James Rackley, who was a world team member. All right. So all right. Talk a little bit about the rest of the bracket, and more importantly, let's talk about some of the players that are really important. So like Zion Smith from Ola, Parker Dunn from Cass, those are going to be wrestlers that are really important. Again, back to that team race, and those two could meet in the quarters.
This is okay. If you're Ola, you need Zion Smith in the semifinals. You need him to beat Townsend, and then you need him to beat Dunn. Because even if he loses in the sems, you're guaranteed a placement.
Yeah, you are.
Yes, yes, you are. Because, yes, like that gets you to the Conci Sem, so at very least you're getting 5th place.
Yeah, I think of, again, I'm still thinking of placing the top 4 because they're not wrestling 5th and 6th. That's the reason I paused.
And by the way, Ugats to the GHSA about that, by the way, but nevertheless, neither here nor there. Yeah. Nevertheless, it's just one of those things where you need that win. You need those 2 wins bad.
I agree with you. If
you could put a Cass guy on the backside where he has to claw his way through,
that only helps your cause.
Especially because it's going to be tough, I think, for those quarterfinal losers. Because they're going to be in a rough spot just because of the way the brackets work out most of the time. They're going to be in a very tough spot.
So I want to ask you this question. And I don't know that. I mean, when you wrestled, you didn't have this.
No, we had.
But I have coach kids that I think personally it's an advantage to not having that bye to the quarters. I think it's an advantage to wrestle.
In the first round. It absolutely is an advantage to wrestle and get warm. It absolutely is. I agree 1,000%.
Right.
That's why I despised when the GHSA did 1 match a day when we had the 4-day state tournament and we wrestled round of 16 on the Thursday on the Wednesday night. Then we had the Thursday afternoon was the quarters. Friday afternoon was the sems and the finals Saturday night. That's why I hated it so much because you couldn't get warm.
Right. And you didn't build any momentum for yourself. I mean, it was like a one-off every single time.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So let's jump to 5A 195.
That's why I wish the damn Super 32 quarters were the same day as round 16. I would have beat Cal Valencia. Coming off the upset, bro. Landon Moss, my boy.
Yep.
Team Scrappy member, Landon Moss.
So just throw it out there. Was in 7A last year. 7A state
champ.
Go ahead.
State champion from Brookwood, Landon Moss. That's solid. Right. Kid can bang. Also of Team Walton Wrestling Club back in the day. He knows what this is about. He knows it. But in this bracket, you have a Levi Rose, you have a Charles Higdon, Ben Valdez from Woodward. Now, this is where Ola is in a very odd position. Because in all likelihood, there's a possibility that you're like, if you see that Woodward, Woodland, Cass are all on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So only one of them could get through the finals there, where your only concern is, Walnut Grove getting the final, so you're not as too bothered. it's going to make the backside drop interesting.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Although, I mean, there's nothing saying that the Loganville kid, and I can't say his last name, but Jason Aligwe, he could find a way to get through. And then you have all of them on the back, on the back.
No, I'm saying in a worst case scenario, like, okay, it's only one of them that gets through. I wasn't trying to, because Aligwe I think Aligwe and Higdon have like split this year or something. Or was it him? Right? Or was it him and Val? Like, Aligwe has a win over one of those guys. I can't remember who. Like, I can't, and it's pissing me off because I know who it is. Because I remember seeing it, and I even said, like, "Oh, okay, that's interesting."
All right, so Landon Moss is the favorite.
And I think he will win his second.
Yeah, second. I think that's right.
Sophomore.
All right, so now 5'8", 220, which I think I think I wrote in my fans guide that this is a Pandora's box. And if you can't see Lucas right now, he's throwing darts.
Like, what the hell is this bracket? Like, just throw darts. Like, so in the first round, you're watching a George Ramos matchup. Oh, that's not even, I hate these damn initials. That's where. Never mind. Oh, I hate this.
It's Ware County.
Yeah, that's Ware County. I thought it was Woodward or Woodland or something, but nevertheless. So then, actually, it puts you, if you're Chris Ramos, in an odd spot because you know for a fact that it's only you and Woodland who could gain points in this weight.
Correct. That's true.
Out of this weight, if I have to pick a favorite, I'm Gavin Profit, maybe?
Yeah, so I think I agree with you. I think it's probably Profit. I think this might be one of the very few weight classes, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is one of the very few weight classes where there are no state placers in the bracket. No previous state placers.
I don't think you're wrong. This is popcorn approved out of just like curiosity of what's going to happen.
Yeah. So Brandon High is 22-2, and Christian
That's a solid win. I think he'd be one of his losses is the Valdosta 220.
Yeah, maybe.
No, it is. No, I know it is because I was talking to Chewy, who's on my team from Coffee. He was talking to me about this kid.
Okay. So I if you're I think what you said with popcorn approved, I mean, I think that's right. And it's right because there's no Matthew Singleton. There's no Caleb Henson in the bracket. So this is a bracket that, again, may not have that level of wrestling, but could be a lot of fun to watch because
absolutely.
Who knows what's going to happen?
This is going to be one of those brackets where we're going to hear lots of oohs and ahs from the crowd because they're going to get in weird positions, especially with 220s. Like, it's going to be a fun bracket to watch out of just sheer, like I can't take my eyes off it. I don't know what is going on.
Yeah. Well, and somebody's going to reach back, and next thing you know, they're going to have a headlock, and they're going to be losing by
this is going to be
points, and somebody's going to win.
Look, you want to go pro wrestling. This is the bracket where a dusty finish is going to happen. This is where it's going to happen. It's going to be in 220.
All right, so let's now jump over to our final bracket, which is our 285-pound bracket. And I simply want to say, if you're a college coach in the market for a really good heavyweight, go check out Cartersville's Chaudry Hurst. He is absolutely just a beast. He beat James Howard from McCallie earlier this year, who was ranked number 5 in the nation. He has not won a state title previously. I don't think he's been a state runner-up, but he is fun to watch as a big heavyweight.
Oh, I have seen him once or twice before at tournaments, just like kind of in passing, and I said to myself, who in the holy hell is that?
Right.
Because he is a mammoth of a human being.
Yeah. So he actually reminds me, if anybody, and the only reason he reminds me is just because he's so big and so athletic.
I know exactly where this is going, but go.
You know, he reminds me of some of the heavyweights from back in 2-3 years ago We had the Chattooga heavyweight. We had the Irwin County heavyweight. Do you know who that is? Do you know them? Was it DJ? DJ was one of them.
Are you talking about like the big like? I know what you're talking like, because to me, who he reminds me of in a lot of ways is that big Rockdale heavyweight from 2 or 3 years back, the one that Tamari beat in the state finals.
Yeah. So again, you're looking at. I assume he plays football.
Yeah.
But
I'll put you on the spot for a second.
Okay.
You, Jason Fulmore, because you've been avoiding this nonsense for too long. We've done prediction videos or these rundown videos. Right now, the 5A team race. Who is winning it? I'm putting you on the spot. Who is winning it?
I can't push you over to the fans guide to have to go look that up, but it's
no,
okay.
No, because I don't have SC Plus, so I can't look at the fans guide. Deal with it.
We'll fix that. No problem. I think Cass wins it.
Okay.
But I think that what you said as we've gone through this entire thing, and that is, and we'll just use the 285 bracket as an example. If Connor O'Neill from Ola, right, wins his first match and then beats Bo Jernigan from Woodland and is in the semis against Tate from Woodward Academy.
Yes.
You're talking about an Ola wrestler who came from the number 3 spot in the section all the way through to the semis, which can happen time and time again. And if those things happen, if Ola gets those kids, if I want to look it up, and I don't know off the top of my head, I think they have 12 state qualifiers.
I think they said 12, yeah.
So if they can get 7, 8 of those onto the podium, they can win.
I'm going to make my prediction. The team, to me, that's going to win the 5A team race is the team that ends up with the most points on Saturday night.
It'll be that close.
No.
It'll be that close coming to the end. And then whoever gets those points.
I see this being razor sharp going into the finals. I think that
it's Friday night, by the way, because I think 5A is Thursday, Friday. They finish Friday night.
And Friday night. I think that it's going to be get to the finals. We're still in a razor sharp team race, and it's going to come down to the final 14 matches. That's how close I think this is going to be.
I agree. So now that you've put me on the spot, we'll finish with the last question of what is the order 1, 2, 3, and 4 of those teams?
Cass, Ola, Woodward, Woodland.
Okay, that actually is probably what I'm thinking as well.
Because I think here's what's going to happen. I think Woodland's going to have the most depth. I don't see them having as many champs. I see Woodward having the least depth with the most champs. I see Ola having the most depth and enough champs. But I think what's going to happen is they're going to hit some matchups in the finals that they're not going to win, where I think Cass is going to steal enough and have a few more in the finals. I think Cass, I'm going to throw numbers. Cass is going to place 8 and win 3. Ola's going to place 9 and win 2 or 1.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep. But I'm gonna give you, I think, the key, the single individual. So I think you've got Cole Hunt, Jake Craps, Bryce Crescio. Those 3 are a given, right, for Cass. Yeah. They match up with Filipowicz and Singleton, Sam, Henson, whoever is on the other side for the other teams. Okay, but I think that the points that Lee Camp gets for Cass at 106 are going to be the difference in them winning.
I'm willing to make this prediction. If Sam Harris is finally able to get over a hump and win his first ring, I think that might push Ola over the edge. Because then it steals that from Crescio. If you take that away from Cass,
I agree, but I think that you have to have that.
Cass is banking on Crescio getting that dub, which I think is very possible. But if Sam Harris,
I mean, he won 8-1 last weekend over Sam.
Did he really?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
So that's why. And look, we start 0-0.
Yeah, and
we got 6 minutes. We don't know. I didn't get to see the match, so I don't
maybe
know.
We don't know.
I don't know if he gave up 5, and next thing you know, the rest of the match is a 3-1 match with a takedown being the difference. I have no clue.
Yeah, it's one of the things where I agree that Crescio's the favorite, but if you're Ola, I think you need Sam. I almost feel like, in a weird way, Sam, while he's not the only thing on Ola, you have Reece Jones, you have Connor Kimbrough, you have don't get this twisted, but he is the emotional spirit of that team. He was there from the beginning, he was there with Desario, you know what I'm saying? He was one of the first kids that I knew that repped Ola proudly back in the day when we were all kids. He's like, yeah, I'm going to Ola. So I almost feel like it's almost like me at Collins Hill, where it was emotionally we were you say Ola, I say Sam Harris. That's the way my mind works, And that's not saying he's better or worse than anybody. That's just the image I get because of all the history behind it,
Mm-hmm. Well,
and because Reece Jones, I think, is going to get the job done too, and that's going to be big for them.
That's going to be huge. I do think that anybody who's watching, I think you could make an argument for any of those teams finding a way to take the title.
For sure. Because let's get this twisted. Woodland might be the best coach team in the state. Woodland might just be.
So
I said might just don't Jeff Reagan, don't murder me. I said might. Listen to what I'm saying.
All right. So, but I think that if you are interested in battles, like Lucas said, to the very end, 5A team race is definitely the one that you want to pay attention to.
5A team race is popcorn approved. There's 3 popcorn approved team races in the state, and this is one of them.
All right. Okay. I appreciate it, Lucas. We're going to catch up in a little bit and talk a little bit about some of the other classes. Good?
Yes.
All right, man.